Hata simama karibu na umse. Sasa nikuje side bro. Woo! Yeah. Ndio hivyo. This time around. By the way, for any other person who's watching us today, this is the Morning Drift. Yeah. My name is Simba, Elijah Charles Kiage. Umse, this year by the way, nimeambiwa anaweza chukua tenda. So acha tumpatie tenda ya kuchukua leo asubuhi. What's up, bro? Yeah.
Of course, Ian Keitani.
That's it.
Your loyal servant.
And the majesty himself, DJ Dana.
Yeah.
By the way, kwa drops umse niko hapo. Sio kama ulisikia. Niko kwa drops.
This is where rigging starts.
Niko kwa drops.
Why am I not on the drops?
Uzito ki recognize.
Why am I not on the drops?
Recognize. Hapo ndio uzito iko bro. Yeah. Anyway, this is the final show of the Morning Drift this year. And by the way, we gotta tell you exactly what you've seen just outside there. Ketani ameshuka kwa Range Rover. Bro, eti lazima ungefunguliwa mlango. Wapi uko wala ufala?
You know,
eti umsame ngoja kafunguliwa.
Kwa siki dandana, unachiki venye rais huwa anaingia. Unakuwa na escort ya mbele. So Simba ni kama alikuwa escort. So mimi ndo niko nyuma. Inabidi wanifungulie. Unanipata?
Wacha tu wewe. And by the way, those cars you've seen outside there, they're going to keep on bringing our guests into the studio this morning.
Yes.
Ndio tujaze hii set leo, by the way, kutakuwa kubaya kwa hii set. Let me tell you what that is. I say, by the way, wanaitwa Windsor Motors, a car dealership company that helps you buy your car, your dream car, and they sell on cash terms. Kama uko na do, by the way, kama umse. Kwanza mmesikia Ketani akisema hiyo range anaiendea immediately. Na anasema kuna cash. Kama uko na cash, talk to Windsor Motors today. They'll give you that car today. Na kama uko kwa finance, wanaweza kuorganize finance, ukule hiyo gari in a monthly installments, pia utaipata. Also, kama uko kwa sako na una save, wataongea na sako yako, then immediately after that, yeah, utapata hiyo gari. That's it. Alafu, they are located at Kiambu Road. Unaona hapo karibu na Naivas? Hapo. Na karibu na Runda. Lazima tuambie watu. Unajua Kiambu Road watu wanaongeanga hivyo nadhani ndio ni wapi? Wako hapo karibu na Runda. That's it, yeah? Windsor Motors. Talk to them today. They'll get you a car as well. That's it, maze. Anyway, DJ Dandana.
Yeah.
Hii mwaka imekuaje? Kwanza najua
nilikuwa nataka kuuliza Dandana. Dandana nzio ni DJ. Wewe ni msee wa magig manini.
Yeah.
Unafaa kuingia pale Windsor Motors.
Yeah.
Uchukue kigari.
You know,
kimbia Nakuru. Kuna matujia hapa sijui nitafute. Windsor Motors.
Kuna recognize DJ Dandana amefika.
Windsor Motors.
Windsor Motors. Yeah. That's it. Talk to them by the today.
You can also find them on social media at Windsor Motors. Of course, limited on Instagram.
That's it.
Windsor_limited on Instagram.
Wamekam na ubaya. Mpaka Derat kufungulia mlango vile Ketani amefunguliwa.
Unajua
bila ngoja msa akuje. Niko la Ketani barabara fukudoki. Amekaa huko backstage. Eti ngoja kwanza nifunguliwe.
Nimefunguliwa nikiwa. Unajua Simba sema venye iko nimefunguliwa nikiwa wapi? Back left. Emphasis on back left.
Amesema hapanda kufunguliwa leo. Entrance ingine kali sana. Anyway guys, it's been a great year. By the way, thank you very much for being a part and parcel of this show. Na by the way, leo ndio DJ Dandana atachoma studio. Omsa amesema hivyo. Show ya mwisho ya mwaka itakuwa moto. Through and through. Anyway, macha niseme by the way, this year has not been that bad. Unajua nasemanga unakuwa na projection, usipo hit unasema next year utahit tena. Acha niseme. This year nilianza nikasema ninapata bibi. Nimejaribu throughout. Hata leo asubuhi vile niliamka nilijaribu. Imekataa. Sasa acha tujaribu next year. That's what we're going to do. Wacha tujaribu next year. Hiyo ya bibi imekataa.
Dandana,
hiyo ndio mwaka wangu imekuwa.
Let me just say. Yeah. Simba nimemjua for like 3 years. Kila mwaka hiyo ndo that's the story. Kila mwaka.
Next year
2019 hii mwaka nimesema nitapata bibi imekataa. 2020 ati unajua covid ilikuja. Sasa nimepeleka 2020 tuko 20 tunaenda 2024. Same story.
Bado naenda kujaribu next year.
Bado najaribu. Utajaribu hadi lini Simba?
Wacha tujaribu bwana. Unajua kitu ni kujaribu kiendelea mbele. Good. Ketani, summarize mwaka wako bwana. Mimi nimejaribu kimekataa. Wacha tuangalie next year. Summarize hiyo. Umekwaje? Bado na bibi.
I'm too young.
Hizi wana complain huku nyumbani.
Mimi hata saizi mimi ni
hawajui. Labda anacheza hiyo side nyingine na hawajui.
Slogan yake ni I'm too young.
Unajua saizi
Slogan ni I'm too young.
Yeye unajua
Ole mwanaume mzima anasema hapa on live television I'm too young. I'm too young.
listen, si mimi I'm too young.
Wewe bwana.
Unajua hata saizi bado nangoja gaveni jenge nyumba. Sinaona unalipa.
Dijendala acha nikwambie Ketani kabla utuambie vile mwaka imekuwa lazima nikwambie vile sasa umekuwa kiongea sasa umekuwa kiongea anasema anyway as we wait for this by the way I want to introduce His Majesty one Mr. Eric Mungai who's been with us throughout this year anakama hapa leo tumeombea kuna stories za kuongea juu ya politics kama hapo tuambie vile mwaka iko vile tunafaa tumalize mwaka arriving again in that posh by the way zote ni V8 ziko hapo nje so acha niseme V8 amekamna nini Range Rover ama sijamuona amekamna range
V8
mmeka wapi kwa V8 Mitsubishi by the way right
V8.
there hiyo kitu ya white hapo ongea na Windsor Motors bana wakuwekea vizuri by the way this setup unaonaje and we're going to talk about who this is and why saizi acha tumalize Mungai anafungulia mlango pia kama wewe ni kama mimi sikupatiwa script
Superstar.
ama sijazoea hizi vitu bana
Ini vitu ya big boys.
sijazoea hizi vitu
Ini
bana
vitu ya big boys.
yeah? Anyway His Majesty one Mr. Mungai joining us shortly then in the studio but he's been with us throughout this year and we're going to talk to him haya Ragalo ndio sasa anakuja na range ni kama wajaka wewe story
Unajua si wote ni nylon.
That's it.
It's a nylon thing.
Anyway, Mr. Mungai, come right in. That's it. By the way, they're coming in escorted heavily by Windsor Motors today. Na tumesema kama unataka gari kama hiyo, by the way, talk to Windsor Motors. Mr. Mungai, have a seat. Ragalo, welcome bana. Leo hapa ni tumekam kukula champagne. Na tumeambiwa kuna story za kuongea politics. Tuongee vile tutamaliza hii mwaka. That's exactly what we're doing here. We're going to tell you who's done this set and why we're here today, and then exactly then talk about how the year has been and summarize it completely. True. Anyway, since they're here, by the way, again, still emphasizing, talk Windsor Motors, they're going to give you those cars that you've seen outside there. And they're saying, if you're in a circle, kama uko employed, ama kama uko na cash, kama Keitani vile amesema hiyo range anaiendea. Saizi by the bag yake iko hapa, sijaona hiyo bag ya cash. Ama ananunua in dollars.
Huyu akiwa na bag ya pesa inatoka kwa mgongo.
Hapana. You must play humble. Unajua, anajaribu ku play humble.
Anyway guys, I got to tell you this here. Anyway, as we clear this here, kuna flex nyingine mnafahamu juu yeah? So unaona vile saizi like mademo anakuuliza eti yo wewe ni nani? Ati hatujui uko na nini ama uko atiji kuona na nini. Acha nikwambie. DJ Dandana.
Yeah.
Saizi unalipia kitu inaitwa housing levy. Hiyo by the way hiyo bill walienda wakaiangalia, wakaigeuza sasa akasema even if you're employed or not employed lazima utalipia housing levy. Sasa dema akikuuliza what do you own? Wewe mpeleke huku nje mahali kava inajenga hizo nyumba DJ Dandana.
Thank you. Ndio nimesema nini hapa sasa hizi? Nimesema nini? No, Simba, wait. Simba, no, wait. Ngoja nimalize Simba nini? Sikia. Simba muuliza nini? Anasema kani nimeoa. Nimesema nini? Wewe unangoja gavana njengea nyumba.
No. That's the wrong concept. Hata ngombe vile una flex. Unajua vile wanasema unajua vijana siku hizi mnasota, hamna kitu. Hiyo housing levy unalipa on a monthly basis. Dema kikuulize, unajua uko na nini kuona na kitu? Bwana, peleka yeye umwambie kuja nikuonyeshe manyumba zangu hapa zinamalizwa kujengwa. Peleka yeye kwa project moja ya affordable housing.
So peleka wako wapi?
Mwambie hizo ni manyumba zangu na ngoja zimalize kujenga this year. Watu waingie huko ndani ni kule pesa.
Umepeleka na wapi wewe? Tuambie.
Video the major shareholder.
Simba is talking like a typical politician.
Na tumesema no politics.
No politics. Tumesema no politics. Typical politician.
Hapo bwana. Hapo ndio kuko.
Unajua ukisema hizi nyumba zangu zinajengwa, you giving me the vibes ya nitajenga barabara hii pesa hata kinichagua hii kiti ni yenu si yangu.
Weka hizo mikakati vizuri, tuta make sure kiingia kwa hiyo nyumba yenye najenga na by the way unalipa contribution 1500 a month. Hizo nyumba zangu ziko hapo Kitengela. Anyway, wewe tupatie bana. How's your year been?
Wacha tuanze na Dandana.
Sasa mbona unarushia hiyo? Mbona unarusha kwa
tumesema wewe ni Muyang.
Si mmetoka kusema mimi ndio
wewe anza. Tumesema wewe ni Muyang.
No, Dandana tumesema.
Umeshasema wewe ni Muyang. Wewe anza.
Tumesema
Muyang.
Sawa. Wewe si Muyang.
Let's do this, yeah?
But it's been a wonderful year for me personally. I mean, I can say I'm living my dream.
Yeah.
What more can I say? What can be much more better than you living your dream? You see, Simba mwaka ikianza, I told myself and I told God, I've always wanted to be on screen and be an anchor, do a show. Kaka January, February, March.
Hapa ni wapi?
Hapa ni wapi?
Mwalimu wa?
Si wa
Kiswahili.
You know my mom ni mwalimu.
Mwalimu wa Kiswahili.
Mama atasema na muaddress. Wewe.
Alikuwa anaongelea familia.
Tumaliza mwaka kichapo.
Utapata mimi sikole mamangu. Mwalimu wa math ni
mwalimu wa Kiswahili.
Mwalimu wa science.
Wa science. Science gani bwana?
Alinipiga kofi.
Sema science gani? Wa physics.
Bora science.
Anakuuliza ati wewe ni failure.
Wewe hata uendi mahali. Wewe uendi mahali.
Kuna rafiki yangu aliambiwanga. Aliulizwa H2O inamaanisha nini? Akasema water. Akasema sawa ni water. Lakini hiyo H2 and O what does it stand for? Akashindwa. Mwalimu wa science akamwambia, "Eri nyanya yako akuje asome."
Failure.
Unajua kitu dandana. Kitu dandana. Hiyo ni real life story. Ile Simba atakusema ni yeye.
Mwalimu wa science tunakumbushana.
Hapo ni unajua ilikuwa ni wapi dandana? Hapo ni Nyamachane primary.
Wacha wewe.
Nyamachane primary.
Wacha wewe.
Usiogope.
Wacha wewe.
Sasa ndio umejua dawa yake sasa.
Nyamachane mko Kisii.
But you do know though that kama unataka mtoto apite peleka yeye Kisii.
Hapana. We must confirm this year, but anyway.
Peleka yeye Kisii.
Next year.
Confirm.
Peleka yeye Kisii.
Yeah? To confirm. Yeah, but generally
anyway, DJ Danana.
Yeah.
Tuko kwako sasa. By then ilikuona gigi nyingine kali. Sijui niongea ama.
Hata before Dandana aseme.
Cheza chini.
Hands down. DJ Dandana is the best
top DJ in the country. By the way, hiyo si kudanganya ama nini ama DJ Dandana ako hapa tuongee poa.
There's a day Simba you're not here. Yeah. I was sitting in for you. Standing in for you. Yeah. Ile vitu Dandana alifanya huko.
Alichoma studio.
Shida tu nilisikia huko akisema sijui Dandana anakuwa na playlist normal, lakini sasa
tumesema tuongee siasa
nini? Si siasa, wacha niseme. Lazima niambie tu Simba kile mimi
wachana na siasa.
Nilisikia viewers wakisema hapa ati sijui playlist ni moto, lakini kuna jamaa fulani huwa anadansa kuna miguu mbili za left. Mimi nilisikia tumia don't know.
Usianze kuongea mbaya.
I don't know, I'm just saying what I read. Niliona kwa comments huku
ongea kama mtu ameshuka Range Rover.
Hapana, you see lazima niseme ukweli. Sasa unataka lazima niseme ukweli.
Ongea kama mtu ameshuka Range Rover hapo nje. Unajua
fanya mazoezi. We will confirm though. Nenda matafanya. We'll confirm, right?
Tutaconfirm
hizo zako hapa. By the way, top DJ and I keep on saying follow him at DJ Dandana across all your social media platforms with it. Na kama ujiona msako kwa mixtape achana na yeye. Hiyo si yeye. Basi DJ Dandana hasipendeze.
Imo imekuwa poa. Maze kuna time nilipitia mashida na ni kama venye Keitani amesema. Sometimes unaweza kaa tu hivi alafu unajiuliza nini mtu wako kwa TV yako nayo yenye mimi siwezi kuwa kwa hiyo position na saizi niko kwa hiyo position maze. Mimi naambianga tu God asante maze. Alafu kujoin Lookuptv
best thing ever, isn't it? Yo, Omse by the way, amekuwa na sisi every Friday na wasao namjuanga by the way. Top DJ. I will say that without a doubt. There is no morning show on Friday inakuanga na top mixes kuliko za ujamaa. Top DJ. I will tell you that across the board. Anyway, wacha tumalize hivi bwana. Unajua?
Hapo ndo anasemanga uanga very bad.
Uanga very bad. Omse uanga very bad. Ama Omse ni mbia. Kuna
unajua nilikuwa nasikia fununu huko nje. Hakuna haja kwenda sijui DJing Academy. Tafuta mix za Dandana YouTube.
Na kila Friday ni hapa.
By the way.
Kila Friday. Hata Friday kuwe holiday ni
hapa. That's what we do here at Lookuptv. All right, kuna story nyingine, kuna joke nyingine nilicheki this year. Tumeona ma jokes mingi sana but when you're summarizing it, walisema eti kuna shaya nyingine ukiongea mbele ya wasee, wanajuanga wewe tu ni mzee. Kama hiyo ya bro so nichapie lango.
Huyu hiyo shengi ni ya 1942.
Ulimzae.
Nangus.
Au qualify ulimzae. Hapo qualify kwa nyumba ya serikali.
Ulimzae.
Yake imeenda.
Yeah? Ulimzae. Anyway, by the way, as we're waiting for but I don't know. Sheila, I'll get, do they have the mics? Because lazima watoe request. Acha wana. Unajua sasa mezoea kuongea juu ya politics, siasa, you know, telling us how bad the economy is. Kwanza kwa Bragala amengililia gavana here by the way. Mpaka tulikuwa naogopa kuna vile acha wana tuambie Kitani mic and then we see exactly how it is. Anyway, by the way, just as they're talking, I'm gonna introduce exactly where they are. By the way, look at that beautiful set. You can get it this festive period. Kama uko na kabash mahali, uko na ka birthday, kwanza Ketani birthday yake sijui kama ni December.
Mwanaume na celebrate birthday.
Ngoja kwanza. Ni December.
Ni December.
Ni December.
Ni December.
Hapana. Si December.
Sema ukweli.
Si December.
Ketani.
Kuna maji ya vyombo hapa nje. Kuna maji ya vyombo hapa nje.
Sasa nianze December kwani nianze kubishana na Yesu tena?
It's okay, you can just continue. Unaweza sema tu.
Birthday yangu ni media huko.
Media.
Ati media.
No.
Amesema media. Media.
Media.
Media.
Yeah, media huko.
Media.
But my birthday is you know July.
Yeah?
July is the month.
That's
perfect
it.
month.
Yeah.
There's no, I mean,
That's it.
ngoja tujaona birthday yako hii mwaka.
Ngoja wewe.
No, tumeona hapa birthday za Dandana.
That's it.
Za we yako.
By the way, anyway, let me nitakwambia anyway. Let me just introduce what you're saying here. By the way, this particular set you can get it this Christmas or any other time. By the way, nasikia watu wanaanza kwenda leave kesho. So indeed, you can actually get this organized. Talk to Soul Sisters. They deal with events and they create as you celebrate. That's exactly what it is. That's why amesema we're gonna create what we can celebrate, and that's beautiful. By the way, if you look at this particular set, then you know exactly what it is that we're talking about here today. That will make it like this. Ndio ukienda celebrate kama Keitany mwenye akona birthday this December ataheshimiwa. At least hapa anaweza toa bibi huko. Story yetu I'm still young, achana nayo.
Si I'm still young. Unajua last year alienda ushago. Alafu ameenda kuserve. Unajua kuna ule anti mmoja anamuuliza, wewe unachukua mguu ya kuku na hujakuja na bibi.
Unajua sasa.
Na kuna kiherere ya kukimbilia.
Ladies and gentlemen, by the way, unajua mnashinda mkiongelea Keitany sijui bibi. I mean, you guys are older than me. For heaven's sake.
Unajua.
You show me the way.
Mwanaume
hapana Simba, no.
Mwanaume akiendelea kusema I'm young, I'm still young.
Unajua amejipaka dye. Hii si kala ya nywele yake.
You win. No, you win.
You see tokea I'm still young. Kama ile tokea Gava gari ita perform after 1 month. Tupatie bado si ni young. Gava ijaanza kazi. 3 years down the line I'm still young. Wewe bwana. Tulisema kuna siasa.
Same thing nimetoka kuambia Simba hapa.
Ongea kama
Simba amesema nini Dandana? Amesema next year anatafuta bibi bado. Kama it's been the case since 2019. I've known him since then. 19, 20, 21, 22, miaka 5. Rais amekuja ameenda bado
najua nini tutafanya hapa.
Tutafanya nini?
That's it.
Unaona ukiorganize bash, the main setup.
That's it.
Angalia setup.
Yeah, has to be this beautiful by the way.
Alafu uite watu hawamjui.
That's it.
Na setup ikuwe aje?
That's it.
Na imefanywa na nani?
Imefanywa na Soul Sisters by the way. Talk to them.
Wanaangalia pia nyuma yako Simba.
The number as we're talking about that's how it is by the way. This is what they do.
Yeah.
All right? The number is 0713 447 777. Talk to them today. Na wako online wapi Keitany?
Of course, Adia Gardens on Instagram as well. You can find them at Adia Gardens in Mushroom along Kiambu Road.
That's it.
Yes.
That's how it is, isn't it? All right. Now, finally then, as we're waiting for our guests to get served this morning, we want to tell you who's serving them. And by the way, leo producer atapata chance ya kusalimia watu. Na producer alikataa kununua chai leo asubuhi, lakini naona chai iko kwa set leo asubuhi. We really do appreciate. And we're waiting for that particular set then to take shape this morning. Ngoja kwanza Mungai aume kidogo. Ndio tumwambie kitu. Let us request. We will know the other side of one Mr. Mungai. By the way, and Ragalo as well. They've been the constant guys you've been seeing on Lookuptv. Na by the DJ Danana, kuwa ready. Usi.
Na sio request by the way to Simba. Watuoneshe moves zao pia.
Na pia wapatie kijana advice.
By the way.
Acha kusema I'm too young.
I'm too young. Ulisema kuanzia 1940
I'm too young. Saizi imefika 2023. Are you still too young? Anyway, guys, this morning then I want to introduce you to our guests who are right here with us on the set, and we're gonna, by the way, it's just getting started. So I'm just gonna cross over then to our set right here as we wait for the rest of our guests also to come in. Yeah, it's full set this morning, and we're going to continue doing this until we full on this particular set. I can see Mr. Edwin Kigoli coming in as well this morning. And by the way, we're also going to see the other side of one Mr. Edwin Kigoli this morning. tuone by the jana hapo anasikia poa. It's a good thing. Amekuja bash last week kama
bash ni lazima.
Bash itamaliza ugonjwa, isn't it? That's it.
Break a leg.
Ishamaliza break a leg, right?
You hate to break a leg.
Sema sasa hivi mtu akikutumia text ama akupigie unamuuliza tu uko wapi.
Kama leo pia unataka kujoin kwa hii set, sema tu Lookuptv iko wapi? Enda hapo ukuje ukai kwa hii set. So you join this batch that we have for you here. By the way, this particular set again, like we keep on saying, has been done by Soul Sisters. They deal with event decor. They create as you celebrate. Kitani wako wapi kabla tuende kwa guests?
Of course, Adia Gardens on Instagram, but you can find them at Adia Gardens along Kiambu Road. Ikuwe ni birthday, ikuwe ni harusi, ikuwe ni nini, ikuwe ni baby shower. Find them on Instagram.
Haya, sasa unaona vile hiyo kwani baby shower goja director anakuingililia na kuambia vile amekuingililia. Anyway,
amesema nini?
Kwani baby shower ni soon. Director. Na unasema still young.
Amwezi jua.
Kwa sababu unasema still young na director.
Sasa imagine
kwani baby shower ni soon.
Imagine hiyo setup ikuwe tu hivyo. Alafu food ikuwe hivyo. Kwanza food imeletwa na nani?
That's it. I'm gonna tell you who's brought this food here. Murray's Caterers. They do everything catering. Kwanza kwa baking wako tu sawa sana. Kwa mse kama umeenda kutafuta makeki this December, talk to Murray Caterers. They're gonna talk to you as well. But they work online as Murray Caterers as well. Murray's Caterers on Facebook at Murray's Caterers. Talk to them. Watakuja na food ingine kali sana. Maybe Mr. Mungai is gonna grab them after this.
Usiseme food ingine kali.
Yeah.
Food ingine
tamu.
Unaweza sema kali ichukuliwe vibaya.
Yes, Simba. Kama usilazimishe Kiswahili Simba. Usilazimishe. Baki tu kwa kizungu yako.
Nimeacha.
Kiswahili iko na wenyewe.
That's it. Nimeacha. Good. So this morning, see all the guys were seated on this particular set here, by the way. The guys who are used to studio. Kwanza hata you know they are right at home. Lakini leo hawajapatiwa ile mic ya kawaida. So we're going to take turns and then speak to each other. By the way, the two Erics have made morning with one of the best sports shows in the country, by the way, because they are friends, but they're never friends when the camera goes on. So today,
someone, if you're new, you might think,
watapigana mangumi.
After show ni kama watakutana huko. That's not the case.
Anyway,
that's not the case.
Anyway, let me then introduce one Mr. Eric Mungai then to begin this morning. Mr. Mungai, how are you doing, sir? Leo bala. That's it. Yeah?
Leo sikumeza mate.
No, that's the entire mood this morning.
Good stuff here.
Good stuff, isn't it?
And you know, I just want Ragalo to teach me how to use a fork and a knife.
That's it.
Awesome.
You know, that's what we're waiting for.
Unajua ukiona vile table imekuwa set,
yeah.
Naona ni kama pia mimi umesema umeita
baby shower.
Baby shower.
Yeah.
Lakini hiyo sio ya wanaume. Hiyo
ya ketani. Ya ketani.
Jamani. Hapo Sikiza, hapo ndio unasema kuna ile hapo ndio unasemanga my lord I wonder.
Baby shower ya ketani. Ndio sio ya wanaume.
But good stuff here. DJ yako juu sana.
By the way,
anitafutie wimbo moja ya Venga Boys
Venga Boys.
Ibiza. Leo ni Friday.
Oh yeah.
Hata Simba ujua jio ngoma. Simba jio ngoma ni gani?
Lakini Ragalo atupatie moja. Unajua hii mwaka Ragalo ametupatia nini mob sana za reggae.
By the way, baka kwa set, yeah.
Mtu wa reggae.
That's it.
Mwaka reggae.
Ragalo
anakuanga atafutia wimbo mzuri.
Naye akiingia tunashika hivi mkono.
That's it. Ragalo anakuanga zile za skiza message.
Tuko sawa.
Skiza message.
Acha mambo mingi.
Watu
wa reggae wanakuanga tu hivyo message.
Skiza message. Mr. Kieti hiyo ngoma zibitsa ziko
ziwa. Lakini sasa ndio shida inakuanga kwa
skiza message. Yeah.
Mambo ni skiza message.
That's it.
Ukirudi uangalie composition walikuwa nalikanga shule. Ungekuwa umetoa hizo kwa reggae uweke composition.
Kijana aliingia katika maisha ya alasala.
Njoo asikianga watu wengi. Kuna jamaa, kuna camera person anakuanga hapa anaitwanga Momanyi. Unajua alikuwa na jamii, Momanyi alikuwa anatuambia vitu alikuwa andika composition. Ulikuwa unajidescribe. Vitu ulikuwa unaandika ndio hii sasa unafanya. Sijui
katika maisha ya NASA.
Si hata maisha ya NASA. Ati alikuwa aliishi kwa upweke. Sasa hii ndio anaishi kwa upweke.
By the way, Digital and just people cross over to Ragalo this morning, yeah? I gotta give out a shout out to Pastor Nganga. Pastor Nganga, yeah. Pastor Nganga, yeah. His men were here as well, yeah. Hey, wait, mic drop after mic drop. So there's something that he said this year, and I was told to say this by one Titus from Kibanga Books. He said this, kuna jamaa alisema kitu cha ukweli. Eti kijana amefika miaka 30. Ngoja, he didn't read that. Lakini kwa nyumba ako peke yake kama wazibu. Sikia. Anaamka, sikia. Ngoja. Unaamka, unaona TV peke yako. Unaweka music, unaanza kukatika kwa nyumba peke yako kama wazimu.
Simba, unajua sijapenda venye unaongea.
So, akaambia vijana, oweni wacha kukaa peke yako kama wazimu.
Mbona sasa ni new describe maisha yangu? Mbona una describe maisha yangu?
Ni Pastor Gaga.
Hata kimaliza alisema I'm too young.
That's it.
Too young.
I'm too young.
Oh, that's it. Anyway, for the very first time this time around, by the Ragalo is. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. Mesmerized.
That's it.
Sasa sikia kizungu.
That's the one I can use.
That's it.
Wow.
This is a table you find in Lookuptv
That's it.
in USA, United States, Sierra Alego, just near UK, United Kisumu.
That's it.
When you go there, you don't say, I'm going to eat. What do you say? I'm going to masticate.
Hapana ya nini?
Tuweke drop moja hapo tafadhali. Tuweke drop moja tafadhali.
Hapo ndio unasema
Tuweke.
drop.
Ala?
Sawa.
I'm going to what? I'm going to
Masticate.
Angoa.
That's it. Masticate. Yeah.
It's been a very good year. Me and Eric, my colleague here. But I need to tell you guys that Eric is a very important name. It means eternal ruler. So me and my friend here, we are eternal rulers. And we've ruled the airwaves for the whole year. And I'm happy to be in this station, because through this station, we have reached many people in the country.
That's it.
And many people have learned a lot from us. And even ourselves, we've learned a lot from ourselves. Because whatever he says, sometime I didn't know. Whatever he says, sometime he didn't know.
Yeah.
And even my colleagues here, my friend here, we've been watching even when you're not on station. And we've seen Professor here, we've seen Wakili here, and good stuff have come here.
That's it.
And through this station, the country have listened to so much that is needed to be listened to. And through this station, their waves have become viral. Many things have gone viral. Drops, a lot of the drops we've done have been taken over by even politicians and used them in their arguments. In the arguments. And that means that we've done our part to build our country, and we will do much to build our country. And now that we are here to masticate and to celebrate the end of the year, such a table is done for the kings. And I am appreciating that I'm being valued this much to see a table so well made. And I'm even thinking, why did some of us make steps early? Some of this would have been done right now. But since I've had my friend there, he's yet to create a step at 30-something years. I'm wondering, such a table,
What?
I'm requesting that when he will be doing something,
What?
I'll be taking care of the table for him.
That's it.
That will be on my bill and my budget.
Wewe umetolewa, angalia
So ukiona mwenzako amelemewa, msaidie kuvuka. So me will be doing the table. My friend here said he's going to make sure he creates a reed dance for him, like the one that is done in the south, so that he can choose a lady. And so he's going to do reed dance he's creating a reed dance for him.
Yes.
I'll do the table. So everyone will decide what he'll be doing for Keitan.
That's it.
DJ play for me. Kazi ya Mungu haina makosa.
That's it.
Kazi ya Mungu
ishaingia ndani.
Kazi ya Mungu haina makosa.
Bwana,
kazi ya Mungu haina makosa.
That deal is so sweet bwana. Sijui nilikuwa happy bwana, watu wakipatiwa deal kama hizi.
Kazi ya Mungu haina
ndio hiyo hapo sasa. Anyway, by the umekosa kitu moja. Request. Request inaendelea kukam.
I'm going to do Lingala today. Coffee is in town. So why don't we do it Swanguruma?
Sawa. Do you know that one? Ketani unajua hiyo?
Twende kwa hili.
Mpatie microphone, hebu rudia tena.
Yeah.
It's Wanguruma.
Do you know that one?
Wachia hapo.
Tutatenga.
Tutatenga.
But kabla Kigoli tuongee.
There's a
You know Mr. Ragalo nikiingia hapa, Simba's like sijui Keitani amekuja na Range Rover, amefunguliwa mlango, Ragalo pia amekuja. I was telling him, it's an island thing.
It's a problem in our community. Our community beyond when you go to Lookuptv, and especially when you meet Nilotics. Nilotics mean Maasais and Kalays. They value good things. So when you see a Nilot getting out of a Range Rover, know that guy has a house. And that's why the car is called a house.
Ooh,
it's not called a car.
Wait, they
a
named
house.
They name it for the community.
They name it for the community.
Yes,
so you get from a house to a house. So there is a moving house and there's a static house.
There you go.
Hapa tutakikani.
There
We
you
don't
go.
fit.
There
We
you go.
don't fit.
Niliwaambia msijimu mkasema you had it.
We don't fit. Sawa. Mi bwana kulikuwa na magari mbili hapo za kulikuwa na magari mbili hapo za Windsor. Bwana Ketani vile alinitoa kwa deal ya Range Rover. I don't understand. Nilitolewa immediately. Nilipata niko huku. Wakisiwa ingiange hizo za white.
Yeah, hizo za white. Kama zile Vox mnapanda hapo CBD.
Anyway, next to Ragalo, we do have another gentleman again, by the way, that you've known throughout as well. It's a good thing that now we have him in the studio, by the way. One, Mr. Edwin Kigoli. How are you doing, sir? By the way, just before you speak, kuna watu nikiangalenga kwa WhatsApp zangu, yeah, after, we're having the morning, shasema, that guy is very serious. He just wants to speak facts and facts and facts. Too much facts.
They're like, Mr. Kigoli, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's it. That has been the and it's a good thing, by the way. As we are clearing the year, Kigoli akasema bwana hapana nitakuwa nakuja studio. Hapo ndani ndio kuna moto mzuri. Anyway, Mr. Kigoli, how are you doing? Karibu sana bana.
Thank you very much, Mr. Simba. I was being weighed down by ill health, but by the grace of God, I've made it here today. I was to be here yesterday, as you rightly said, but I couldn't make it. However, today I said that I have to come, given that it is the last show of the year. I would say the following. This year has been one of a kind. It did not take hostages, all right? The year did not stick around. This year has come with promise, yet with also some suffering. And when you talk to a typical Kenyan, they'll tell you what they have been through this year. And you'd want to look at a wide range of factors. You can look at, say, the education sector. It is a critical sector in our country. It has had its own share of challenges, as well as having its own promise, showing that indeed we can make strides moving forward. You want to go to our TVET and universities, you will see the innovation and creativity and the entrepreneurial spirit of those young Kenyans. And the question is the government doing enough to invest in our universities to lift them out of these burden of financial challenges? Our universities, when you look across, are run on a business model that is not working, all right? They are riddled by debt. So they focus on trying to clear the debt instead of investing in new technologies that would improve our education and enhance the ranking of our institutions. You will go to our health sector. You'll see some challenges. It's a devolved function, but have counties made it a central point towards delivering healthcare to the people? Is the government, national government, supporting county governments in actualizing this dream of affordable healthcare and ensuring that healthcare is down there to the people? Are our hospital or health centers equipped enough with enough manpower, medicine to take care of our population? Because if you're not well, then you cannot do well. If you want the economy to work, our health, the health of the people must be a priority. You'll want to go to the National Treasury. You'll see the CS for Treasury coming out to say government is not able to pay salaries. Government is struggling. Yet you'll see independent experts coming out to say, but this government has been raising taxes, on Kenyans. And they ask, what have these taxes been doing? You will also want to look at the national debt, all right? And IMF is getting a stronger hold of our economy, because when it comes with its own programs, they are never good. They'll cause pain to the people. They'll ask the government to tax more. They'll ask the government to raise more revenue. But then again, what is the counterproductive aspect of it? It causes economic recession, because when you tax too much, people lack money to spend. And without spending in an economy, the economy cannot grow. It means government cannot raise revenue as it would project. That's why a government would go direct to tax on your pay slip, because now purchasing power is very low. All right? So if you ensure taxes are low and keep money in people's pockets, when we leave this show, you'll go and buy a number of items for your family for Christmas. Right? That is if you have the money. And those items attract taxes. So if government spread the targets on taxes but retain people to have money in their pockets, it will be achieving.
Yes. I'm just gonna then give it a round of a break from the set before we introduce our final guest. By the way, Mr. Kigoli, people have to see the other side of you pia wewe leo, because request yako by then you pia tunangoja, but we'll be coming back to you. By the way, we keep on mentioning this particular set again, Keitani, has been done by who? Soul Sisters, isn't it?
Definitely.
Deka, Events Deka. They're with you throughout, and if you essentially are thinking about your December festivities as well, talk to them as well. They will essentially come in and make your set as beautiful as this one is. It's a good thing that we feel that we're right at home with the guests that have been with us throughout the year. We do have Mr. Kigoli with us, the two Erics, and we're going to introduce our final guests shortly after we come back to this particular set here today. Kuna kitu lazima niambiwa niulize. There's one thing I have to tell you about Mr. Kigoli. The producer amesema hiyo lazima utasema. Mr. Kigoli, by the way, we gotta say, it is one of those gentlemen that have done the Morning Drift show a big favor this year. Now, let me tell you how it is, yeah? The year is long. Yeah. So, unaingianga kwa show one time, unapata guest mwenye alikuwa fa kuja, mtoria amekuwa msika subu. Or kazi, meeting bana, And you're here telling your audience, we're gonna have a 1 hour, 30-minute show in the morning. Talk to you about this, and this. Guess who you call when such kind of thing has happened?
Mr. Edwin Kigoli.
Mr. Kigoli. He never tells you how he is. He's like, okay, let me create some time for you, and then after that, to turn on the air. On a special thanks notice by the Mr. Kigoli, the entire Morning Drift team, because I don't know whether today we're going to get that chance then to see the directors and the producers who've been working with us throughout the year. Whenever they hear Mr. Kigoli has accepted to come, hapo ndio unajua, tuko na show. That's it. So we can go on and have a show today, because people like a divergence of views and guests on the set. And so when you usually say, yes, I'll be there, it is a big, big favor to the Morning Drift team. On that note then, Mr. Kigoli, kuna swali niliambiwa nikuulize, and I'm going to ask it right now. What is the one advice you'll give youth in this country as far as the economy is concerned? Unajua mambo ni mbaya, everybody's talking about heavy taxation, everybody's talking about how the cost of living is essentially gone up. What is that one advice that you would like to give to the youth of this country in as far as tax, economy, the cost of living, and business is essentially concerned in this country? Would you have one that you give it to them?
Thank you. So, this is what I'll tell my fellow young people.
Yes.
We must stop being complainers and take responsibility. Nothing good ever comes easy. And when you join imagination to common purpose, nothing is too difficult. We are very innovative. We are entrepreneurial. We are creative. We have capacities to make things around and work for us. So the young people are the largest in numbers, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. And we, the young people, can take charge of the leadership of this country. If we decide it is Simba, we have enough capacity to make you president.
That's it.
So why should we go for affirmative action when we have the power in our hands?
That's it.
women have negotiated for affirmative action successfully, but we young people are disjointed. We never integrate on issues that matter. We want to be keyboard warriors, but keyboard warriors don't get good leaders in office.
That's it.
We must step up, get out, and make things work. If you fail to electing a good leader, you have turmoil on your future. And that's how we get into headwinds.
That's it.
Say, the economy is not working because we never took serious responsibility when it mattered the most. So I want my fellow young people to take charge of your destinies. Don't let people make decisions for you when you're not fully involved. Be at the table.
Yes.
How do you get to the table?
Yes.
When we get to electing in leaders, voting leaders you believe have integrity to move this country forward.
Yes.
All right. Have the courage to make the right choices even when the odds are stacked against them.
That's it.
So we young people can make a difference in this life because the future is ours.
Pretty much. Guess what, Ketani? I want to give you the honor then to introduce the final guest that we have on set this morning. Unajua amekuwa akisema I'm very young, so finally then let's see, Ketani, you do the final introduction of the guest that we have on set. Na unajua anasema, unajua we tumeongea na Mr. Mungai, they're now personal friends now, and the likes of one Edwin Kigoli and Eric Ragalo, those are guys that walk throughout this year. So now once we come back, naona Jema pigana na equipment pale nyuma, acha malize kupigana nazo, and then once we come back then we'll be essentially be introducing the final guest that we have on set this morning, and then after that we'll be telling you exactly who she is, why she's with us here today, and then after that we continue with this particular segment. Anyway, wacha turudi huko. Wewe naona drinks zimekamba na sasa mtaziangalia TV bila na vile glasses ni kali sana, you know Ketani, unataka ku reserve comment?
Unajua alikuwa anataka kusema nini? Amebeba paper bag.
Na tabia zako tafadhali usiseme ni mimi. But anyway.
Anyway.
Mursik kunja ni national drink.
Anyway, Ketani, do us the favors of introducing the guest that we have on set today. Yes.
Just before to introduce Simba.
Yes.
Whatever Kigoli was, Mr. Kigoli was saying. See, kama kijana, mimi sijui kama umesikia, mimi sijui kama kijana mwe ni mzee. Lakini emphasis on mambo ya keyboard warrior huko X sijui nini.
Achana nayo man.
Achana nayo.
Hizi saidia mtu.
What you have to do, get out there.
Taza.
Kujituma. Si ati you see me I'm tweeting, you see I'm murkomen amenijibu kwa Twitter. No. You see
It doesn't make sense.
Get out, do your job.
Doesn't make sense.
That is the only thing that will ensure we can be able to be hard kama vijana huko nje, because at the end of the day if we don't speak sisi wenyewe nobody can speak on our behalf. So, like you said, women walijitetea. Kuna 2/3 vijana wako wapi?
We have to really think about that. Oh, by the way, Kigoli, before we forget, request yako lazima ita come through. That's it. Finally then, DJ Danda anakuwa ready. Zieke tu pamoja hivi za kwa back to back. That's it. Kigoli, tuko hapa na top DJ in the country. You have to represent. Yeah? Hapa sasa ndio watu wanajua Kigoli anapenda kusikiza nini when he's not talking about economy, and how the economy is not well voiced. As it. What are we playing for you this morning? Yes. Ragala amekataa. Amesema hapana. It can't be that. Hapa ni kujiachilia, right? Nguvu yetu ilete baraka. That's it. Yeah.
There is always diversity.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay? So the table must be fully represented.
Yes.
So that people don't say we forgot one for the country.
Yes.
So I will request a track by Eric Ragalo.
Yes.
I know you know it.
That one.
I know you know it.
Yes. That's it. Chetani, do you know that song?
Daima mimi
Of course.
Ama, there's so many of them. Polisi akikuomba chai unampatia, mwambie
Hapo sasa tunaanza kujua mlikuwa msema sijui kitani.
Ngoja. Hapana, nilikuwa mzalendo bwana.
Sawa. You can continue. You can continue.
Anasema that's it. I'll tell you exactly what that is. That's essentially a proper introduction would be mtu akisema nicheze ngoma moja ya Eric Wenena ya Uzalendo, you know exactly what that is. Hata bila kuambiwa bwana. Zinakuanga tu hapo, yeah? There are so many of them. Daima mimi yeah.
Lookuptv discusses serious issues.
Does it? Does it?
So, all of us cannot go. It has to be
Does it? Does it? Does it? Does it?
So, that one.
Habari ndio hiyo. Okay. Anyway, we're reserving this final introduction for guests this morning, by the way. We have to keep on telling you why this particular set is possible, why this particular food. Unajua DJ Tana, naona umeweka food hapo mbele. Lazima utest, useme hebu test hiyo food usikie. Ngoja test kwanza bwana, utuambie kama hiyo food ni tamu. Ngoja tunangoja verdict.
Unajua naona sijaona, nimeona tu nashangaa macho imeswitch kutoka huku iko hapa.
Imeenda hii side bwana.
Tuambie nashangaa shida iko wapi.
Acha tusikie verdict.
Acha niwaambie.
Kosa.
Hiyo ni ile video ya aneka kando.
Yeah. Habari ndio hiyo. So we essentially then are also thinking of getting this particular food in events this year. By the way, I know we're going to host a lot of events. Unajua wasemanga, acha nikwambie joke tena. It's unatuambia kitani. So wanasema kioa bibi mrembo. Kwa sababu there are so many events zinaenda kufanyika home this December. Unasikia? Haya, good. Na acha nikwambie vile ziko. Unajua wanaume wanafanyanga kazi zote. Enda mpasue kuni, mlete maji, you know the heavy duties, isn't it?
I already know that.
Haya,
continue.
Sasa wanasema ukiamua kuoa, bibi mrembo, wewe jia carpet, mimi naoa character. Naoa bibi mayako na roho mzuri. Haya, December ikifika, when the family is meeting, bibi yako anaambiwa aenda kupasua kuni.
No, mimi sikubaliani na
Bwana oa bibi mrembo.
Sikubaliani na
wewe, wacha oa bibi mrembo.
Sikubaliani na wewe. Uoe bibi mrembo. Wazazi wako wasikuwa wanapatia watoto wa anti zako na cousins zako example na bibi yako. Kula. Ama nikuitie ule anti yako. Ama nikuitie ule anti yako.
Mimi sikubaliani na nyinyi kabisa. Kama ni kijana hapo nje, usisikize Simba.
Amuongee vizuri bwana. Amuongee vizuri. On. Watoto wanaambiwa unalia saizi unapiga kelele ama nikuitie anti nani? Atakuma. Haya, na kitu kingine tena.
Nataka usahau kenye unafikiria. Before ufikirie kukaa single mpaka uzeeke. Usisahau kitu moja.
Ungekuwa unaangalia Simba. Nadhani Simba una address.
Utakuwa example.
Mimi nasikiza Simba, sina mwangalia.
Usiona mtu amezeeka na ako peke yake. Mtu tu mzee kabisa amezeeka. Watoto wakiwa unaona venye watoto wanga wanacheza. Watoto wanacheza unasikia wakidiscuss ati ndio ule guka wa kukula watoto.
Juko peke yako. Unasikia hiyo story ya?
Mimi hata
kijana sikiza mawaidha mzuri. Mimi nachukua notes. It's a good thing that I started the introduction by saying mimi niko kwa hiyo level sasa na nimekuwa nikiwork very very hard.
Hapana, ambia watu mko kwa level 400 Simba. Wacha kusema uko kwa hiyo level. No.
At least mimi sikusema eti unajua sitaki sijui nini.
No.
Anyway, again the views that we're going to seek again by there from our guest this morning, we're going to listen to Ragalo exactly how to approach 2024. We're also going to listen to Mr. Mungai this morning on exactly how to approach 2024, especially at a time when everybody's saying that politics in this country are kind of messed up. And by the way, that man right there, what Mr. Mungai is going to tell us whether is still running for governor in a 2027 campaign. Yanze mapema, sindio? Campaign yanze mapema. That's it. We're going to listen. Yeah, we're going to listen to that as well. Kiambu people, if you're watching, you have the signet governor right here at this particular studio in the morning. We're going to listen to him shortly. Atuambie kama till the bid is live in 2027 as well. Anyway, guys, kabla tukuje huku sasa kuna story ilifanyika towards the end of this year in terms of the bigger events that have happened this year as well. So kuna one Margaret Nyakango. Acha nikwambie vile kulienda Ketani, you know very well that she's facing a lot of troubles now.
Yeah, definitely.
Gava imeamua wewe unaongea mbaya. So wacha pia si tuongee mbaya. So I'm not saying that this is exactly what happened, yeah? So the police just decided tuenda ku arrest Margaret Nyakango.
Yeah.
Jo uko na bibi kwa nyumba as their husband, unasikia mlango imebishwa. Sawa. Nani sisi ni CID tumekuja kwa sababu bibi yako akona mashtaka mahali. So you as a husband, Ketani, you don't want things to blow out of proportion. Na kukuja na nguvu. Hapana. Kuja tu akabisha mlango. Nani letter ndio hii kutoka police department. Tumeambia tukujie bibi. Sasa unajua wewe kama bwana utasema, okay. Let's see exactly what it is. So apparently, this is the story. I'm not saying that's exactly what happened. It's a big event that has happened this year, but as we clear it, akaita polisi kwa nyumba. Akasema nani, hebu leta chakula. Patia polisi chakula. It's not a good thing tuache mapolisi wakuja wakifanya kazi yao watoke bila chakula. Polisi wakakaa vizuri. Nakumbuka alipeleka wapi? Mombasa. Kutoka wapi? Nairobi. Good. Chakula ikakuja, polisi wakakaa vizuri. Like this food that we have here, tukaongea bwana, akasema mkoaje, kazi iko sawa? Good. Haya kuleni bwana, tuone vile hii kesi inaenda. Lakini unajua polisi akishaambiwa niletee dandana, lazima ataleta dandana. Hata dandana akiamua kuambia kuja hapa kunywa maji, watamaliza kunywa maji,
lakini wapeleke dandana.
Peleke dandana. Good.
Goal ni ile.
Wakamaliza hiyo mambo. Haya wakaambia Mwananyakango, ni sawa, tumeshukuru. Thank you very much for the food. We appreciate. Tumeona you are very welcome man. Lakini sisi tuliambiwa tukujie.
Ile kitu imetuleta hapa ni wewe.
Sasa kama unaweza tukubalia juu tunaona wakati inafika na unajua lazima Outback Subaru ifly mpaka na unajua when the state comes to pick you they use the cheapest means.
Subaru ya
hakuna haja
Subaru ya Mambaru
wakweke kwa ndege sijui uende. Hapana.
Hii inaitwa Subaru ya
Mambaru.
Imekam na
iko hapo nje na ziko 3. So tuliambiwa tuchukue yeye. Bwana kwa gari Mombasa
buruka.
So we don't know how that case is essentially going.
There's something I've never understood by the way.
Yeah.
Mbona is it a rule?
Yeah.
Ukishikwanga upelekwangi straight away. Lazima upigishwe malap kwanza.
Yeah.
Ni uchanganywe ama what is the goal?
Asina kuanga sasa ndio.
The mental
Yeah,
they get to you. Ndio hata
kuingia kwa kitu.
Hata ingia kwa kile.
Just so you know they might be speaking out of experience. So
that's yeah, that's
that's it. Out of experience.
That's I've experienced it.
Hata nimezungushwa.
Yeah. I've experienced it.
Hiyo town unazungukanga mpaka unajua street.
It's not a good thing. I've experienced it. Anyway, finally then Ketani, it's a good thing that we have a psychologist in the house this morning. So could you please do us a favor then of do us the honors then. Na unajua leo tunaenda kumwongelesha stories za wababa na wamamas. That's the topic today. Na vile anasmile. Sisi kama tumeguza mahali ambayo
mmesahau.
Wa gani?
Wababa, wamama, kuna tu benten hapo katikati.
Bali ndio hiyo sasa.
Mambo ni mengi.
Unajua for wababas and wamamas to be lazima kuwe na tu benten hapo katikati. All right.
Utatuambia kama ushaikuwa.
Finally this morning, let's do you the favor of introducing a guest that we've also spoken to this year. Yeah. And I'm Jen Gitao. Miss Gitao, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, this is wonderful.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It is quite amazing.
That's it.
I love the setup. I love the team. I love the energy. This great morning. I can see mental health is away from here.
That's it. Habari hapo sasa kila mtu ako relaxed vizuri.
Yeah. And actually, just to kick off, I think I would like to offer my counseling services to Keitani.
Habari ndio hiyo. Dandana tuende nyumbani. Kama issue imeisha. Unajua tuko hapa.
Director tafadhali, director.
Ni kama issue imeisha.
Director kwa kama ananisikiza.
Yeah, tumeachieve bana.
Sasa.
Beba chakula.
Acha tubebe hii food tutoke. Hii mwaka imekuwa very successful. Dandana tuanze hiyo side.
Umesahau chakula.
Ni food imesahau. Kama ingekuwa ni story ya kubeba sahani.
So the two of you mmegang up against me.
No. Tunataka kusaidia kijana ambaye anaanza kusema mimi bado ni mtoto.
Miss Jen.
Before mnafikia. Ni Kiswahili.
Ngoja. No.
Ketani, we have to translate this for you. I'm too young.
Mimi bado ni mtoto.
Thank you very much. Tutoke Dandana.
So I can do everything.
Hakuna haja
with the strength that God gave. But anyway, Miss Jen, before mnifikie. Simba amesema as you are coming in, Simba amesema amekuwa kitafuta bibi toka 2019. Hadi sasa hizi amesema next year 2024. Hiyo ni kama term, it's almost one term ya MP ama president. So tuanze na yeye. So I'll pick the lessons from him.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I think you need some premarital counseling. Maybe
Take notes.
there's a challenge somewhere.
That's
you
it.
know?
Yeah.
And I think it is quite key because I heard them talk about ati mtu yetu akiambiwa ukule ama nikuitie.
Nani.
But I would like to tell Ketani, don't listen to them.
Exactly what I said.
Beauty is relative, Beauty is relative. Yeah, what is so beautiful for him may not be so beautiful for them.
Thank you
So
very
if you are contented,
Niliwaambia na I disagree with what.
Lakini sisi kama Mbogi lazima tukubali. Usituletee kitu unazitembea naye.
Lazima muapprove kama committee.
Naza. Kamiti lazima itakaa hapa iseme bwana.
Sisi ndio komiti yako.
There is that part of the wedding nasema kama kuna mtu ambaye kuna doubt hii yezi endelea. Dandana mimi na wewe tuko hapo.
usikubali kuwalea bibi.
Yeah.
Wewe wa bibi wako. You might marry for them. Wewe tule mrembo yani nani Simba anataka.
In short unaweza kuwa nasema naweza kuwa ninawatafutia type yao.
There you are. Ukienda safari wanakamini. So wewe wa bibi wako. Wewe wa bibi yako.
That's it. Anyway, Ms. Kitao, we are happy to have you around.
Thank you.
We're going to listen to you this morning. That's
Thank
the
you.
conversations that, and I know Ketani has a lot of questions around these stories, our baba and our mamas. We're going to know exactly why it starts, how somebody can avoid all that. It's a happy feeling to have you around. Here's the thing, yeah?
Simba, before endelee tu.
Yeah.
Wacha niongeleshe mamangu.
Yeah.
Mom, kindly, kitu Simba anasema si hiyo, it's not true.
Yeah.
Sijui mambo ya baba au mama, I don't know anything.
Yeah. That's
I don't know anything.
Are you saying like that because she's listening this morning?
Of course she is.
Anyway, Ms. Kitao, just before we continue on that particular issue, we're making a playlist. Leo, we have the top DJ in the country with us here in the morning. So lazima tusikie the other side of you this morning, even before you talk to us about Ben 10s and Wababas this morning. What are you going to listen to?
Yeah, I want to listen to this song called Nitaamini
Nitaamini.
by Israel Bonyi.
Hii ndio siku yako ya kwanza kusikia hiyo kitu?
Ngoja Simba unajua Israel.
Hiyo ndio siku yako ya kwanza. Ngoja.
Dandana ni DJ anajua.
Mimi najua.
Wewe unajua Israel.
Israel Bonyi.
Nani? Come again? No, what's arudie? Come again? Israel who? Come again? What's arudie Mr.
Israel Bonyi.
Goodness me.
Ona.
No, what's
Piga gap.
Piga gap, yeah?
Wacha uambiwe.
Ngoja pige
Ngoja
gap.
kwanza.
Inaweza kuwa ni mate inakata.
Okay.
Rudia. Check 2.
Nasema aje?
Israel who?
Israel Bonyi.
Wacha wakuambie tena.
Aze.
Israel Bonyi.
Bonyi.
He's a gospel artist.
Okay.
Noma sana.
Nitaamini. This is a dope track.
Telling you my friend.
Selection ishaingia. All right. So just before we continue back to the set, just to introduce exactly what it is that we're going to talk about this morning. According to you, Ms. Kitao, what is the reason as to why young people essentially would indulge in these stories, our babas and our mamas? And it's a culture that has been normalized. Why do you think it has been normalized?
Well, sometimes depending on the persons, because it varies from one person to the other.
Yeah.
It's sometimes it's about money.
Yeah.
Because you see, older people, they are kind of financially settled or stable. So, and if you look at the needs of many people, they really talk about the financial stability and such. So emotionally, older people are stable, And I think human beings really love stability. And so if you want to be identified with stability, chances are older people are more stable. There's security when it comes to them. They have communication skills, they're with it. They have the experience. And so people don't want to be experienced with, People want people who have experience. And so basically that can become a source of attraction. But of course, as we carry on, we shall be talking about the pros and cons. Because even those older people, at one point, they were just also trying out, And it took time for them to acquire resilience, tenacity, And that is why they are where they are.
Yes.
And so as we carry on, we shall be seeing the cons of dealing with such people, because when you start working with such people,
yes,
it means that you shall not develop your own resilience as it did. Yeah.
And Simba these days, beg your pardon, it's not only about before, like a year ago, a couple of years, you'd hear people say, it's only young ladies who go for older men. But nowadays as well, you'll find older women going for young boys.
Yep.
And you struggle to understand the logic there. So that's also one thing that I really want to understand, because it's good to admit that I have friends who decided apana, mi ndo nitoke kwa block, wacha niingie Kilimani. Wacha niingie Kilimani nitafute mama hapo.
Nasikia vile naongea hiyo story na nguvu. So kama kuna experience now, so I don't know why.
Sasa sijui maboys wangu. I know.
So, Mr. Kitau, just before we go to the rest of the guests on our set today, and I know we're going to join you on that table set to talk about this on a deeper basis.
Yeah.
I mean, is it a psychological aspect? Are we the normalization of this culture? But what do you think this particular culture has been normalized? Like, it's never a big deal. And I remember back then when I would see maybe a young girl dating a very old man, that would be an issue for me. But nowadays, even me myself, when I look at it, it just doesn't shock me as it would be, as it would back then.
Yeah, I think the idea of looking at the world as a global village has actually really influenced this.
Yes.
Because you see, like way before, it's like we relied so much into our culture, what my parents have to say. You see, like now those days when your mom was actually my mom, it didn't matter whether you're Luo, Luya, whatever, multiculture did not matter much. When another mother saw a child misbehaving, they bet them like their own. But right now, you'll pass and see a child do something and you can't touch them. Because you see, the world has become a global village. And so we see that America has come into Kenya, Europe has come into Africa, and Africa has gone into, So because of that, you realize that, and people have traveled a lot anyway, so you see that like we embrace the Western more. We tend to admire what is happening in the Western world more. And then you look at our local people, and especially the young people, we take our mentor from out there. And so we want to do what other people are doing. And as we continue watching something, it just becomes a part of you. And so it becomes very, very easy to normalize some of this issue based on what we are listening to most. Because, what we hear, what we see, is basically what we allow our mind to keep on processing. Yeah, so that is why basically it has become so easy. We don't feel like it's a big deal dressing in a, showing cleavage and everything. You see, that was not African culture thing. Okay, though there is a way some cultures dress, but we didn't look at it that way. But today we are more westernized than Africanized. And I think that has really contributed to our current exposition.
Yeah. Pretty much. But we'll be talking about this on a deeper level once we cross over to that table, Kitani and I. Ms. Kita, I want you to hand over the mic then to one Mr. Mungai, who's sitting next to you. Good. So right now, officially, we are addressing the people of Kiambu. That's it. Lazima tuongee hiyo mambo bwana. This year, it has been quite a year.
And, sorry, before you start, I was wondering the way the designate governor is galloping rice, wallowing it into his throat and regurgitating it back and returning it back to the stomach. Is this how he's gonna eat money for Kiambu people?
I saw that coming.
I
saw that coming. Mr. Agano, you want to say you're asking on behalf of Kiambu residents?
At the speed of which is finished, and we are just starting. I'm wondering.
Yeah?
Kiambu residents should be very careful.
They should be very careful.
Very careful.
Ama they feed him well, bwana. Make sure governor mekula vizuri. That's it.
For this whole year, people have been asking me, yani wewe you defend government, kwani are you a government official? Now, when you tend to stick around people, you learn from them. And the same way government has been eating taxes, is the same way I am reciprocating in terms of eating rice and cabbages. And plus, you said it's nice food. When you see a good thing, you don't wait. The reason some of the people here are single is because when they see something good, they start taking time, meandering, saying a lot of stories. Me, I go direct to the point. I finish what has to be finished. And that's why the people of Kiambu like me. Kwa sababu mimi sipotezi muda. I don't beat corners. I go right where it's supposed to be.
That's it.
Yes.
Anyway, first question for you. Bila tuenda kumaliza mwaka. I know we spoke about this. I mean, You were in the ballot again in 2022. I mean, you've seen especially how your county or the county governments have been run this year. Mr. Mungai, are we going to start, unajua nisemanga 2024 itakuwa imebaki miaka 2 tuanze campaigns.
Zilishaanza.
Je, kama yetu tunaanza 2024 and since we're here looking for jobs, unajua tunasema uchumi ni mbaya. Mimi I personally declare I'll be in the campaign team for Mr. Mungai as the communication officer. Atakuwa natoka huku nje kabla ingisho kwa Range Rover pelekwe nyumbani, mimi ndampatia application letter yangu immediately. Ketani, do not apply for the same job. Competition is not good.
Mimi hata niko na swali
moja. Na vile nilisikia hapo, even Mr. Mungai Viragalo is saying, "Wewe Ketani anakaa kuchukua tenda." Hiyo tenda ni yangu. Wacha mambo ya unfair competition.
Mimi upigania tenda kubwa kubwa.
Hapo acha.
Tenda kubwa kubwa.
Hiyo communication job ya campaign team ya Mr. Mungai ni yangu.
Sasa utakuwa you'll be reporting to me.
Wacha wewe.
Na draft unaleta kwa
unfair competition. It's not, hatuwezi maliza mwaka hivyo eti mali niko pia huko. Ketani, wacha hiyo ni yangu. Mr. Mungai, this is an official application from me, official communication team.
Consider the application well received.
Governor,
as to whether or not I will consider it, I will consult with Keitani.
Thank you very much. Umerukwa. You should know people.
Hapa nimeachwa.
You should know people.
Nimeachwa.
You should know people.
Nimeachwa.
Na kuambia kila siku. You should know people.
Nimeachwa. That's it. So officially then, Mr. Mungai, are we expecting something?
Kabla governor ongee. Governor unataka tulete gari za Windsor Motors ongea hapo juu.
In fact,
I
address the nation, bwana.
You know, I thought I would have this show on top of the
sunroof,
Niki address the nation, Lookuptv, and you know I would be up, addressing the nation. But I see you had different plans, and change of plans is good, But I must say the people of Kiambu have been very supportive, especially to this show.
Yes.
Every Monday morning, they've given us insight. We have dealt with issues not just affecting the people of Kiambu, but affecting the nation. We have tried to correct misinformation. We have given the right information to the nation. The people, through interacting with the various social media platforms, have given us feedback, and that feedback has been very useful in shaping the narrative for the whole year. We've had a few hits and misses, both in the political and economic arena. You know, this is the year that the Finance Act came into place, raiding many employees' pockets. We've also had a lot of activities in the judiciary. This is the year where the judiciary has also exercised their muscle, reined in the government, where I thought the government had a lot of excesses. This is the same year that we had people get employed as a CAS. Then most of them towards the end of the year have been jobless. You know, you have a job, you have a title, but you essentially don't have an office. You don't draw a salary, but still people, talk to you as waziri, refer to you, in big titles. So we've had our fair share of hits. We've had our fair share of misses. But one thing I want to address is that there is a lot of optimism, especially from where I sit moving into the year 2024. Because, in terms of getting to rock bottom, when you get to rock bottom, you can only get to the bottom, and the only way left is way up. And when we were starting, there is a question that was asked, especially regarding us young people, and what advice or the future portends for us. And it is to say that as young people, we have a responsibility to ourselves.
Yes.
And no one owes us anything. No one owes any young people in this country anything. I know many a time we address government, we tell government saidia serikali, but the truth and reality is this, that for me as Mungai to be able to earn anything, I have to go out there and make it work.
Yes.
Now, that is not to say that there will be no challenges. The challenges will be there. But I would want us, especially as young people, to walk in 2024 with a lot of optimism, with a lot of networking, critiquing where we think it is right to critique, but most importantly, we must understand that no one owes us a favor and no one owes us anything. It is our responsibility to build this country block by block. In fact, one American politician says, don't ask what the country can do for you. Rather, you should ask, what can I do for my country? And therefore, I think moving into 2024, that should be our mantra. What exactly can I do as a young person for my nation, for my family, for my colleagues, for my friends? How can I make a difference, not just in my life, but in other people's life? But as I said, the challenges will be there. Most of the times in this country, the government is always a good scapegoat because we have politicized almost everything. Even food is politicized. You remember we are just ending the year with, you introduced the team that cooked this, and I am hoping they did not use the KNTC oil to cook this food. Though I must say that Kebs said Kebs said this is okay. We can continue.
Second presser. First time they said, "Hey, ni baya bwana." Second time they're like,
yes. So I am just hoping for this particular food, which is very nice and tasty. That's why I have galloped it into my mouth very quickly.
Yes, sir.
I am hoping the cooking oil is not from those quotas, because they have a responsibility towards our stomach and our health.
Yes, sir.
So yes, government has made goofs. We have sometimes government has declared 500,000 jobs going to a certain country. The ambassadors of those countries have come back and said, even us, we are hearing from you guys for the first time that you're bringing your guys here. So there have been
tumesikia mko na mipango za
tumesikia ni kama mko na mipango za kuleta watu huku, lakini ni kama hata sisi tumesikia na nyinyi.
Hebu mtuelezee tuone kama
tumesikia na nyinyi hapo
mipango yenu.
That's not the case.
Mnataka kuwaleta aje?
Yeah, but I keep saying, one of the beautiful things about this country,
yes,
is that we can have discourse, we can laugh about it, we can critique where we want to critique. Government can make mistakes, we can correct them right, left, and center. Right now, Rivayala is flowing naturally without any bodies in it, which is a good thing. And I think that is what we should encourage as a country. Let's talk.
Yes.
Even where we disagree, let's keep on talking, yes, and making the discourse a bit better.
That's it, pretty much. Hiyo application yangu bedesha kuja nani. Acha tuende kwa Ragalo then. Do you have one question that you want to ask Mr. Mungai?
Nataka kuuliza Mr. Mungai. In 1 minute.
Yes.
You nataka kuwa governor wa Kiambu County.
Yeah.
Kiambu is one of the counties that has had quite a number of governors.
Yes.
From Governor Waititu to Nyoro to Kimani Wamatangi. What do you think is the missing link? What do you think is the missing link in Kiambu County?
Well, let me say that I do not want to be the governor of Kiambu County. It is the people of Kiambu that want me to be their governor.
Habari ndio hiyo. Kiambu people, if you're listening bwana.
Ndio ungekuwa umeka drop moja hapo.
Sawa, hapo ndio iko bwana.
So we must keep using the right and correct language.
That's it.
But I must say we've had a deficit in terms of leadership. Kiambu being a metropolitan county and being the fact that it is near the city, it is usually affected also by the politics that happen in Nairobi. And you see the caliber of leaders we voted in both Nairobi and Kiambu. We do not necessarily vote based on merit. We vote based on many other things. And I'm just hoping that this time the reason why the people of Kiambu want me to be on the ballot,
yes,
is because they have seen something different, and they are made of a different method than has been previously forged in that particular county.
Yes.
And being their son and growing up there and knowing the challenges that face the people, then I believe the people have seen that I am best suited to be their leader. Now, of course, we must also say that we must allow room for the current leadership to work within the confines of the time frame they have been given. Sometimes you see they make a lot of mistakes, sometimes they get it right. But as we always say, the people cannot be wrong.
Yes.
And therefore, when the time is right, when the time is nigh, I believe the people of Kiambu will make a decision that values the future of their children.
Pretty much. Good. I gotta ask you this as well. I know every time you've come to the morning show, we've spoken about the state of the country, the state of the nation, politically. And you're always wondering, why are we getting it wrong when it comes to electing our leaders? In fact, you even question the integrity of the people that we have in this government. So for the youth who are listening to you and have a voting power, na unajua next year is when we are going to know whether we have a referendum or not. By then, nishajua unaenda kuvote no. Ashasema, kuna bwana, hata kama baba anakuja nayo mistaki. Already, that's a no vote from him. Soberly operating within politics to the youth in this country, how are they supposed to operate within this political discourse? And if indeed you're going to speak to Kenyans, 2024 is going to be a tough year. Najua Eurobond iko due June 2024. The government is looking for money. Kuna SHIF, kuna housing levy yenye ishakuwa amended already. So a lot of taxes are going to come next year. How are we supposed to operate within this political environment?
2024 is going to be balanced more on economy than even politics.
Yes.
We are going to start on January 1st with the increment of VAT tax from 16 to 18%.
Yes.
That is going to hit our pocket. Then already banks have increased their interest rates to 14.5% from 12%. That basically has made the loans expensive. And during our show, there's a time I talked about the treasury bill, T-bills, going to 15.22%. And I said when T-bills go high, definitely the banks are going to hike their loans.
Yeah.
And just like I'm saying, we normally say things and they come to happen. Not that we are prophets, but having been analysts for some time, you can tell what is going to happen. Next year is going to be very painful on people's pockets because the health scheme is going to start working.
Yes.
Of course, it is in courts, but however much is in court, it's still going to work, and it's going to hit people's pockets. Then CASs are coming, and as we know, what we call state capture is when a section of people can change laws to benefit them. Basically, that's what state capture is.
No, sir.
We are going to have CASs coming in, and that is going to blot us further, and it's going to make our life more expensive. How will that affect people politically? It doesn't really affect people politically. Trust you me. People are emotional to their community leaders. Africans were put into communities, countries were put into communities, differently to what the white people did to their own countries. You go to Norway, you definitely know you are meeting Norwegians. You will not get French people in Norwegian. French is for French, Britain is for British, Ireland is for Irish people, and every country is actually a tribe. The only country that only has 2 tribes is Rwanda. And you can see the mess they put themselves in 2 tribes. Kenya, we are basically doing 50 tribes. Of course, we talk of 47, but we are not. We are actually 50 and above. But also this 50 is not the normal number. The Kenyan tribe is 125. I always keep saying that because Luya is not a tribe. It was just an amalgamation of tribes brought in by Mzungu in 1948. The way Luya started in 1948 is the same way Kalenjin started in 1948. It's the same way Mijikenda started in 1948. And this was done by the white person to make sure these small tribes look big.
Yes.
And that's why Luya, you can see the way they are. They will never be united because they are different. And that's why we normally also talk about Luo nation, because it's a nation. Kikuyu nation, Nini nation, it is a nation. And why I'm saying economy will not affect politics is because the Luo nation will always follow Raila. The Kamba nation will follow Kalonzo. The Kalenjin nation, they already have their leader in RUTO. The Kisi nation will follow Simba. And other nations will follow their leader. So it depends where your nation is going.
Yes.
If your leader tells you today we are merging with Eric, you will love Eric, whether Eric was hurting you yesterday. So more is about the leaders in those tribal nations. So politics with economy is not going to affect, but it affects people, few people who reason. Like Eric Ragalo only won an election in 2002 when I voted Kibaki. Since 2002, I've never won a president. I've never won a president since 2002. 2007, I lost till now. The last election, the 2017 election, I lost everybody. I didn't win even a single seat.
Yes.
This election, I won an MCA seat out of 6. Why? What I'm saying is, people who lose more elections are people who make the independent minds. You will find they lose 1, they win 2, they will never win 6. Trust me, the independent mind can never vote suit. They will never win 6. So, well, those are the few people who truly vote, and they are 1% of the whole voting pattern. The 99% will follow their leaders, and they will always vote suit. Tumeambiwa Gatutura, wanaweka dovi yote vile waliambiwa, anasema ni Jubilee. Last time it was Gatutura, this time it was waeke kayelo, wakaeka yelo. So that's how it is. Then wakasema wataamka mapema. So they're influenced by their tribal kings. But
yeah. Akatoa kachungwa kapio. Chaganya.
So 2024
yes.
going beyond, economically is going to be hard. Petrol prices will definitely go up. People will walk more. Consumption of petrol is going to go down.
Yeah.
Kenya will not be able to do the KRA numbers they want because many people will stop.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And debt ceiling has gone up. Of course, we changed the debt ceiling, so we don't have a ceiling anyway.
Yes.
Because we changed the law. So what is going to happen is we will be able to pay Eurobond, but Eurobond, it's not us paying. We're actually taking a loan to pay a loan. So we are not out of the hooks. So we'll still get ourselves into trouble beyond 2027. But my pain is going to the president that will take over Kenya in 2032.
That's it.
In 2032, the president
yes.
either will be toppled,
yes.
I don't know, because all these loans RUTO is taking now are going to be paid from 32.
That's it.
Plus the ones that Uhuru still has that will run to 32.
Yes.
So I don't know what will happen at 32 because either we'll not have a country because we'll find ourselves into a position where we are not going to make it. I'm also looking at a time where we are going to devalue our Kenya shillings. 1,500 is on its way. Just like we devalued our Kenya shilling from 200, our biggest denominator in 1992, then 500 came in. Then towards 2010, we devalued it again, 1,000 came in. We are going to devalue our currency, 1,500 is coming. And when we get to 1,500, we are going to be in trouble. Us and Uganda are not far.
Yes.
Uganda to the dollar is doing 156 Kenya shillings if you turn it around. Tanzania is doing 156 Kenya shillings to the dollar. Kenya is doing 154 Kenya shillings to the dollar. So us and Uganda and Tanzania, we're only 2 shillings away. And you see, we used to take the pride. So the pride is not going to be there. So we're going to devalue our money,
yes.
the same way Malawi have done. Zambia devalued their kwacha. Ghana devalued their cedi. So we are going to devalue our Kenya shilling very soon, and 1,500. So what does that mean? You'll be paid a lot of money. You'll be a millionaire very soon, but a very poor person.
That's how it is.
It's like that.
So Kitani, usianze kama Kitani mwenye anataka
Kitani
kununua Range Rover. Ameshtuka bwana hapa, amesema hii Range Rover nilikuwa nataka kununua hapa. Kama vya poor millionaire bwana. Anyway, DJ Dandana, Kitani. Kuna request zimemekiwa. We're going to come back to the table and still continue talking to Ms. Gitau on this Wababa and Wamama culture, Ben 10s, all that. That's the next conversation that is coming up next. And also talking to one Edwin Kigolio now as a youth, you're supposed to operate within this bad economy. All right, for now, we take a tiny musical break right here on The Morning Drift. DJ Dandana then comes with the request that our guests have made right here on The Morning Drift as well. Sandio tusikie hizi ngoma zao ni gani. Kwanza bonye hapo hapo ndio nataka ningoje hiyo Bonyi anaimbaje. Bonyi.
Mbonyi.
Yes. Uzidi Mbonyi?
Mbonyi.
Acha kwanza nichukue akani kama mwana. Okay. Take it.
Maçonnerie! Oh, maître maçon José! Équerre!